And we are live. Welcome, you guys, to the Doctor's Orders live stream. My name is Dan C. Bearded. I am the co-host, meaning there has to be some other part of the other co-host, Nick, the doctor himself. He will be joining us shortly. So if you guys could drop a comment in the chat, if you could like the stream, and especially if you could share this out. Today is a little bit different because normally we're on Tuesdays. But what we're going to talk about all day today is this Boston, New England storm and really what it did to the whole area. We have Jill in the chat, who is the co-owner and does so much for this company. And she's asking how everybody did in the storm. Dan B is a local to the area, and he said about 6 or so inches, but very, very windy. Drop a comment in the chat, kind of just the general area where you're from, and then what has the weather been like this week / the weekend? We did not get hit. I'm in Michigan, and we did not get hit as strongly as the Boston area did. This was a very interesting storm. It formed over the ocean rather than coming across the country. But we did have a snow day on Monday. We got hit with mainly, got some snow, but this is Michigan in winter. But mainly it was the freezing ice. And I know that sounds a little bit silly to say freezing ice, but we got ice, we got snow, and then it froze over top of it. So it just kind of made for a mess. And then we got a little bit last night as well. So it's still kind of dragging its way out, but nothing really out of the ordinary for us. Boston, though, and we'll talk about it with Nick, who's had all the brunt of this and all the firsthand experience. It's the worst storm that they have, and they declared this officially since 1978. Whoo, we're talking almost 50 years. 1978 was the last time they had a storm of this level. And so, yeah, especially when you don't have the ability to prepare for it. And Nick will go over some more details. But to let you guys know, they are back in today. Their power was not supposed to be restored until just before midnight on Friday. They were out on Monday, keep that in mind. And they were not supposed to get power back until Friday at the very, very earliest. And they had just a random glimmer of hope this morning, and the power came back on. And I guess the roads have been crazy. The shoveling has been crazy, all of that. But it is the real deal storm there. And so if you guys want to share how it is with you, yeah, let us know. And Quad says, got at least a foot in northern Massachusetts. Okay. So, yeah, you got a foot. That's a foot of snow is a real deal no matter where you are. And Craig says, so crazy how different weather is opposite coast. We're about to break all-time heat records. What? I had not heard that. So Boston is getting their literal worst storm since 78. And then Arizona's about to, which is an already ridiculously hot place, is about to break their heat records. No wonder when people come in from England and they're like, how is this one country? You have a molten desert, and then you have Antarctica, and it's the same country. Oh, by the way, you can go to Hawaii and Alaska, same country. Take a little flight over to Miami and the Keys, same country. Absolutely insane. And Dan B said he got another 2 to 3 inches this morning, and then next Tuesday, Wednesday, another possible storm. Woo! No, thank you. Punxsutawney Phil, you need to get better, and you need to start calling shots the right way. All right, it looks like we do have the doctor behind the scenes. Mr. Doctor, give me a thumbs up if we're ready. All right, beautiful. And Abe has said 77 here in Texas. That sounds about perfect. I could do for some 77 right now. I'm over our high of 30 today, and it's I'm over it. I'm over it. So help me welcome the man that's been through the eye of the storm, the heart of the beast over the last couple of days, and I, for one, I'm ready to hear about it. I know he's got some stories, and there's been a whole lot. It's just crazy. So if you guys could, please help me. After you check to see the thumbs up, did you share it? Some people might have forgot that it got moved and delayed. Let them know, guys. Share it out. Please help me welcome the doctor himself, the Phelps of all Phelpser, the man that will juggle 30 plates and not even drop one, Mr. Nick Phelps. Oh, wait. All right, go back. Go. You got to leave. Okay. Please help me welcome the man himself. A little better?
Looking good. Sounds great.
Okay. I liked it. I got a little bit of fun things here, like in case stuff gets intense. I wanted to be ready and throw this on.
Oh yeah.
What's going on, or if you like have like a great iconic moment. Got you covered. And then if anybody gets talking bad and we got to bring like a traumatizing sound. Watch out.
Whoa.
I'm ready.
That was intense. I need to turn down my speakers for that one.
All right, Nick. Loaded question, okay? But I am asking, how are you doing?
So, okay. I'm here doing all right. Everything in my, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Then I'm doing okay. I'm doing better than my last 3 conference calls so far today already.
What? It just wasn't working?
Oh, I've been disconnected off of everything that I've tried to join. The last call I was on, I just had to rejoin it, I think 6 times. So we'll see. We're basically on regular power here now, but the cell towers down the street are all on generators. Comcast at their main station down there is on generators. The cell phone tower next to our house is on battery backup because their Kohler generator died.
Oh my gosh.
And the CVS down the street from our house, their whole parking lot is loaded up with these semi-tractor trailers with these giant Kohler emergency response generator trucks on them right now to power the pharmacies.
Because they declared a snow emergency, I believe, on Monday.
Yeah, on Monday. They declared that on Sunday night. They went ahead and just did it ahead of time based on what was happening in Jersey.
Okay.
Because as this thing was developing on the coast and it started beating up New Jersey and New York, New Jersey got something crazy like 8 inches of snow while they were still trying to figure out like if it was gonna snow.
Wow.
It came in really quick. So we'll see how this goes. My last meeting, I dropped off of that to jump onto this one. And of course, my audio dies about 30 seconds while I'm wrapping it up. So I couldn't say bye to anybody. So they're all like texting me, not knowing like what happened to Nick. As far as everyone knows from my previous calls, I just fell off the face of the earth. So we will hopefully not have that experience here with you guys.
Right. If it happens, we know what's going on. And yeah, so to kind of give an image that this was just that Monday snow. And you're like, a lot of areas got hit. You guys were kind of at like the epicenter of this. It seemed like, to me at least.
Yeah. So you see over on the right, you see on the shoulder.
Yep.
Okay. Right there on the shoulder is Plymouth. You see on the map there.
Yep.
Right where the dark purple changes into light purple is us.
Okay.
So what was happening right there is as everyone else was getting these bands that were coming across, our bands were just swirling. It was the dark bands turning into the light bands. So we just had this swirl effect happening right on top of us. So like I told Jill when I was driving somewhere yesterday, kind of like I was going 4 minutes down the road and it took me 45 minutes between emergency response vehicles and there I counted 24 utility trucks parked out in front of the substation that we were at. And I don't know if I sent you the photo or not. I need to send it if I didn't. The pole that was on fire that was attached to the other pole that they put out. Yeah. So what's happened now is there was so much damage that they can't repair everything quick enough to get service back on. So what they're doing is like, if the top of an electric pole blew off and snapped off the electric pole that it was on, which has happened now, all up and down our street. We heard explosions all Monday morning.
Wow.
Things catching on fire, transformers exploding. The substation actually had an internal full-on transformer like explosion that blew up part of the building. Now,
not to break your train of thought, stay on that. But talk to me like I know nothing about this stuff. In this situation, what is causing, because it's obviously not a one-off, what's causing this to happen in multiple locations?
You know what it is trees and heavy snow and ice. So this snow came in so fast that it just weighed down the power lines so
Okay.
much that it both broke poles with the combined wind, because we had 70-mile-an-hour winds with, so you got to figure we get 10 inches of snow over the course of like 2 hours, during which time you have 70-mile-an-hour sustained winds. Like we had hurricane force winds with blizzard, basically.
Yeah.
So
and that's what JB is saying down here. He said it sounds like a Florida hurricane.
Yeah.
So I pulled up on my maps. I just have I just use the stock Apple map or weather system, and you can look at like the wind map. And I thought this was very interesting. I actually have it right here. And so this is like right where I am, and it shows you in real time. When I pulled this up for you guys and I went down here, it had straight up looked like a hurricane with the way it was spiraling and moving.
Yeah.
And it really, like, I pulled this, where did it go? I pulled this up here, and this is what I saw on that map. And I'm like, how is this not a hurricane? Like, if you replace that to Florida and you show this, it's a hurricane map that everybody sees every year, but this is snow.
Yeah. Yeah, they call it. And so like this was, I think, does it say it on there? No, the cyclone bomb idea. So like the cyclone bomb, low pressure, whatever it was. When I remember the weather guys were all going nuts on Sunday. I'm watching the news, and like there's like so many millibars, or like I forget how they measure it. I'm, not that kind of doctor, but they have like this millibar or whatever it is, the pressure drop. And like the guys on the news were like nerding out, because they're like, we've only read about this in textbooks.
Oh my gosh.
They're like, literally the chief meteorologist was like, I'm not old enough to have known any of this. We didn't have the instrumentation in 78. He's like, I wasn't old enough to be paying attention to weather in 78. He's like, this is a first in a lifetime event for any meteorologist that's under 70 years old.
Whoa.
It's like it's the first time it's ever happened globally.
You just got in the best, most adorable way ever. You just have nerds just like, oh my God, this is it. This is our moment.
Oh, and like, so as the storm's rolling in, our little microclimate tried its very, very best. It did. So I always talk about it.
Yeah, you guys have a weird spot there.
We're in a super weird spot. So like, if you look what was happening here, it tried to hold out. Look, you see the black dot is my location.
Yeah.
And
let me get you on there.
You can see that it's like a hole.
Interesting. For real, the colors go around it.
And that's where we are, is that little cut. So like that little peninsula of white, that's clear. So like at one point you could look outside and it was just walls of clouds all around you. And it was just sitting there trying to hold its own. Then finally it broke. And we just, I was telling Jill that when I was driving back yesterday from kind of surveying the area, being part of the problem on the road, I might add, is I saw something I'd never seen before. And that's the top of picket fences sticking out of snow. And they're full-size picket, white fences out in front of people's houses. And you see like tiny little spikes, like the back of an alligator, just snaking across people's yards, because that's how tall all the snow was.
Wow.
Like right now, if you look out back behind our building, the dumpster, you can only see like the top this much of the dumpster.
Wow.
And it's in the middle of a field.
It's
crazy.
Not
like it's against a wall.
Yeah, Big Red said Rhode Island broke their snowfall record total from 78, which was like the standard.
They did.
And Dan B said they brought a national record to like Eastern Mass and Rhode Island for most snowfall in the 24-hour period. Wow.
Yep. Yeah. It's
dang.
Biggest, craziest. Look at that, dude. Like the size of this storm.
Like, how is that not a hurricane? Like it's a winter hurricane, and it was just going over the water. Now, do you guys get these storms from the ocean, like even smaller ones routinely, or is that concept rare itself also?
No, because what you see here with that rotation,
Yeah.
if you look at us on the coastline there and you look at the way it comes in, they're called nor'easters.
Yeah, I always hear that term.
Yeah, so this is the definition of a nor'easter. It just happened to be a really large one. So a nor'easter is almost always an offshore storm rotating, and we are catching the southwest or northwest shoulders or hips of that storm. So the wind is coming in from the northeast is why they call it a northeaster, because the nor'easter, it's sitting there offshore and it's coming in at a diagonal angle offshore.
Interesting.
Yeah, so they're onshore northeast winds.
Interesting. Yeah, we get lake effect from the Great Lakes in Michigan.
Yeah.
But nothing that could cause anything of like this level. Like, and yours was just so quick. I told Nick, I said, we had heard about 1 or 2 storms this year, and Nick was always commenting on this is your karma spiraling back. And it was like storm of 2025, greatest winter storm ever. We heard about it for weeks, and it got there and it was like, this?
Wink.
Huh? Like nothing. And Nick's like, are you seeing this on every news, every out? I'm like, everywhere. And then this storm, I hadn't heard a peep. And it ends up being the actual biggest. And your synopsis was that it was because it formed from the ocean and it wasn't being tracked across the country.
That's it. Because what it is, it's a theoretical storm until it happens, right? Like that's the funny. It's not like it's coming from Michigan and here's what it did across Ohio and Pennsylvania and here's what's coming to us because it's strengthening. Yeah. It's like we see a system developing and we think it's going to develop Sunday into Monday, but it could blow offshore and not happen at all, or it could sit right there and turn into the worst blizzard we've ever seen.
Wow.
And that's so sad. Yeah, and we got that one.
Wow.
Yeah, it's been absolutely insane. We got power back finally. We were on generator power for quite a while. What the craziest part of this whole storm is?
Yeah.
They left us to die. The DPW in Marshfield, it had just such an abysmal failure of snow removal that it's not even laughable. Like it was Monday morning at like 7 a.m. That was the last time I heard the scrape of a plow. And by the time it got to the end of the storm, we were like 8 o'clock at night and we wanted to do a pass in the driveway with the snowblower so it didn't freeze.
Yeah.
And so snowblower, I got a 30-inch, snowblower.
Yep.
And the top of it's about the height of this desk. And it was cutting tunnels. It had snow above the snowblower, and on the sides it was cutting into it. You had to pull it back, push it down, push it forward. So, I mean, it was like a multi-chomp situation at the snow. And when I got to the end of my driveway, usually you have like the big, plow wall that you got to break through at the end. Nope. It was about waist deep. So it was that deep. Is that from the last storm? This is the last storm.
This is the last one.
So it was like, you see like the windowsill there in the background.
Yep.
That's covered right now.
Wow.
Like all the way covered. Like both windowsills there are all the way covered. And so when I got to the end of the driveway, it was just a wall of snow. It wasn't because of the plow. The plows hadn't come. It was that deep down our whole street. So it was not plowable at that point. So, what was it? Tuesday morning rolls around yesterday morning, and I'm looking outside and the snow drifts are waist high in our street.
Yeah. Snow drifts are terrifying.
Well, dude, I mean, it was the entire road though. It wasn't like there was like a section of road that they could plow. Like there was no getting a plow in here at all. So this is why you have friends and you always do favors for your buddies, because I sent a text to my farmer buddy down the street and I'm like, hey man, like they forgot to plow our road or they gave up on us. And he's like, yep. He's like, I looking at it. He's like, there's no way they're getting a plow down here either. He's like, I'll get out the front loader and I'll come down there with a front loader and a tractor for you.
And he lives by you?
Yeah, he lives at the end of my street.
Oh, okay.
My buddy Jimmy. So thank goodness for Jimmy. All of a sudden I look out my window and there he is in the cab of his tractor coming down and just scooping and dumping snow like this, just scooping it and dumping it, making his way down the street. And but he's not working for the town, right? So like you look out my window on the second floor and you see this path that's all the way from the end of our street straight to our house and nothing else. No one else is plowed out. Like no one can leave their houses, and there's like this finger of God path that's like carved down our street from Jimmy straight to our driveway. So like everyone's looking at our house like, what the heck? How'd these guys get out?
Shout out to Jimmy, the real one.
Jimmy Nielsen. He is the man. He moves.
Dude, I have a buddy, Jimmy Nielsen.
He moves houses for a living. And when I say moves houses, he's not a mover that moves things inside of houses. Physically. He is a person that picks up and moves full physical houses.
Huh.
So
that's
he knew
crazy.
what he was doing.
I have a buddy named Jimmy Nielsen. That can't be the most common thing in the world. That's interesting.
Is he awesome?
He's freaking great. Yeah, he's super chill.
There's something with the name.
Yeah, he's super chill. Great dude. Interesting.
Yeah.
Wow.
So I remember when we first bought the house, he was the first person we made friends with because he had a bunch of jet skis in his front yard.
Oh, perfect. Like my people.
Heck yeah.
So, okay, so you got that kind of plowed out. Tell me what you saw, because a lot of people can't relate to this. Like they have no concept of what an ill-prepared area is for a storm. We are in Michigan. I have these not maybe to this extent, but we've had some really bad ones. And especially, so ours have like these parameters where they actually give up. If it is below a certain temperature, they won't salt because they say the salt doesn't work. And I'm sure they're right. I don't know the science behind it, but they won't salt or put anything down. And if it is coming down at a certain rate for like a sustained time, they don't come out. And they have like all these rules. Oh, and then let me hit you with this one. This was crazy. This was the first. I think I told you. But so Sunday when all this was happening, we had to drive down to Columbus for Maddox's soccer. It was fine, right? There was snow and everything. Every single place we went, every about literal eighth of a mile, car in the ditch, truck and trailer flipped, this and that. It got so bad that for 45 minutes, we were stuck behind two snow plows that were on the highway, side by side, had miles of traffic backed up. I was about 10 behind them. I just missed getting in front of them, which maybe was a blessing. Who knows?
It sometimes is.
Yeah. And the crazy thing is, and I talked to a buddy who's a police chief here, the police called it in on a state of emergency. They were able to call in the snow plows to slow the traffic of the highway because there were so many fatalities, people dying on these accidents, that they were like, we don't know how to do this other than closing the highway, and we can't do that. So they, on both sides, put out snow plows and went 25 miles per hour side by side so no one could get by.
Dude, and you need to, because people are ridiculous. Like the amount of like I had one on the way to the office today that literally was just, it was a doozy.
Tell what you saw. Tell what you see. Because people in Arizona, if they haven't traveled or lived over here, they have no concept of what bad drivers are on ice, which like people are like, oh, I have four-wheel drive. No, your brakes don't. Like, your brakes don't have four-wheel drive. There's so many aspects. I can't wait to hear your stories because it's just mind-numbing. I'll be on the highway in my big old 2500 HD truck and playing it safe, and then like a Toyota Corolla will be like, meow, and I'm like, I'm going to see them in the ditch in a mile. What are you doing? It's guaranteed, you idiot.
Oh, I have no idea. I saw someone in a fuel delivery truck today. Like, like the trucks that deliver fuel to your, like you guys have fuel delivery trucks out there, right?
Right, to the gas stations,
No, to like the ones that go to your house to fill up your tanks in your basement.
What?
Oh boy, New England, here we go.
What?
So there's I'm going to say, I don't know, half of the houses up here don't have natural gas or electric heat.
Oh,
they run off of gigantic fuel tanks that are in your basement, and that's what you use to burn for your furnace.
Whoa! So they come to your house?
They come to your house in this big ass truck, and it's got a huge tank on the back like that guy, and like the yellow one, and they
Okay.
park out in front of your house, or that one right down lower right there. That's what you see all over the place here.
What?
So they pull out
I've
in front of
never
your
heard
house.
of
The
that.
guy throws a hose over his shoulder and he runs out across your front yard and he goes up to this little port that's next to your basement window and he hooks it up
What?
and he dumps 50 gallons to 200 gallons worth of diesel fuel into your basement.
What?
Oh,
That's
yeah. So the gas that they burn, that they deliver, is it's not technically just regular diesel, it's home diesel.
Okay.
But if you run out, to show how similar they are, you can go fill up a gas can at the gas station with diesel fuel, come home and dump it into the tank in your basement, and you now have heat again.
That's crazy to me.
Also, most houses don't have sewers. So no sewer, just septic tank and cessfield in tanks. And their fuel is completely in their basement. So it's like, yeah, and propane is like an elective thing here for like, if you have like, if you want a gas stove, but you only have electric service, you can get a propane tank so you can burn propane in your kitchen. And there's also propane they can use for certain types of heat, I think.
Yeah.
But yeah,
we have these more in like rural Michigan, like where my parents live, northern Michigan. But you just see them in people's yards. They're just like big old white propane tanks that sit in your yard.
Yeah, those have to stay outside because they're pressurized. But nope, these big fuel tanks, and like, yeah, what's crazy about the old, fuel tank in the basement. Yes, sir. 100%. Yeah. Fuel oil. That's what it is. Tank in the basement. And so it's fuel oil, they call it. And actually, a lot of people don't even call it fuel. They call it oil. Like, I'm out of oil. I got to get because they're called oil burners, is the furnace in your basement.
You told me about an oil truck. I hope you realize I had a vastly different idea in mind because I don't know this concept. That's so funny.
Oh yeah, and my default thing I'll say is oil truck, because that's what everyone calls them. Is it's like it's called oil fuel. So you'll get like you get this oil dropped off.
I love learning something.
Oh, dude, and get this. So like just until recently, and we're not talking like that, not recently. Like we're talking like up until like the 80s. Oh, absolutely. They're bombs
just sitting there
that have giant tanks of what you've been flushing in your toilet in the front yard. So
because you said there's no
and since those tanks are in the basement, we are a certain kind of bomb. I'll just leave that right. So they're yeah.
Woo, it could be a crappy situation. Yeah.
Get this. In the first house that I rented when we moved to New England, it was built in 1902 and it was still running on oil. So it was still an oil tank in the basement, still got oil delivery. Now get this. At one time I was down there with someone and I was working on something, and there's a cable that was stretched across the room, and it was going from one corner of the room to another corner of a rafter, right? It's a metal wire. And in the middle of this metal wire, there's a fishing weight that's tied in the middle of it. And it's tied on this side and tied on this side with a fishing weight, and the cable's going across the room. And I'm like, I look at the guy that's down there. He's an electrician. And I was like, what's this cable that's down here? I'm like, can I get rid of this thing? Like, what was this for? Was it like a clothesline or something? He's like, oh no, that's your oil burner shut off. And I was like, what? Is it like a cable upstairs? You got to like disconnect something? He's like, no, you see that fishing weight in the middle? I was like, yeah. He's like, that's made out of lead, so they melt. And if there's a fire in your basement, the lead fishing weights get hot enough to snap that cable, and it shuts off the fuel supply to your furnace.
So that's what you're depending on being the safety measure.
You're counting on a fishing weight melting and a spring shutting off a valve that's controlling a 200-gallon tank of diesel fuel in your basement.
Of boom boom. A lead fishing weight.
Blocking you from all the pow.
Whoo!
Oh, yeah. It's like super high tech up here in New England. We've just kind of got to a certain point of advancement and just said,
Right. Yeah, sounds safe. I mean, eventually they're like, hey, it's a 200-year-old house. What are you going to do?
Yeah. Got horsehair plaster and old wood.
This statement by Leo says a lot if you're aware of like regional differences. He says, years ago, I knew a woman who accepted promotion to New England. After winter heating bill, she returned to her old position in LA.
That's because she didn't get a freaking raise after she had to pay for her heating bill. It's like they're going to give you a $20,000 a year raise and you end up using 15 of it to heat your house.
How much more expensive is that than a natural gas heater or an electric? It has to be astronomically more.
They say it's not.
Wow, really?
Yeah, they say it's not, but what gets people is you have to pay. It's not like a utility bill where you pay it every month.
For what
you got to pay
use?
you got to pay the $2,000 or whatever it is to get your tank filled up at once. You know,
they kind of buy. Yeah, okay.
So like the fuel guy, literally, like there used to be jokes in Boston where like don't take out armored car drivers in the winter if you're looking for an armed robbery. Go after an oil tank delivery guy because he's got more cash on him than the ATM guys do.
Interesting. Okay. I diverted you there. You're driving, oil tank, and then anything you saw along the way so people can understand. Because everyone's like, man, Florida sounds good. Arizona's looking nice.
Yeah. I mean, so there's nothing I'm going to tell you that changes the story at all to be like, oh, okay, well, I guess that makes it worth it. I haven't figured out what that is yet. So don't know. Can't help you there. But what I can do is tell you that it's the people on the road are just absolutely insane. It's like, that's really all you can chalk it up to is just people are absolutely nuts. Like, so this oil truck, to get back to the oil truck story here, there's this corner leaving our office or coming to our office it's an off camber and around the corner. So it's like tilts out and it goes around a nasty little corner. So it's not a good corner to go around fast on a dry day in the summer. Like you lose traction. So I'm coming down the street and I see this oil truck almost get up. I swear it looks like it's getting up on 3 wheels going around this corner. And he like levels out and slides the back of his truck a little bit. And he just keeps on going. And he's going like 40. Meanwhile, I haven't gone over like 20 miles an hour since I left the house, right? Because it's just not passable over 20 miles an hour. The roads aren't scraped. They still have a layer of snow this thick on them. There's no salt. Like it's ice and snow. And so this guy's like
just sand or dirt or anything for you guys?
Nothing.
Okay.
No, just fail. All over, just fail. And so this guy's like coming around the corner and man, he like, I had to like flash my lights and honk at him and share my opinion of his driving, as he was passing by.
Oh, of course.
Especially almost had to get out in person, go tell him how much I appreciated the speed at which he was traveling and maybe give him a couple of pointers on how not to do that.
Right. That's being neighborly of you. And if you didn't in New England, they would judge you.
It did. So, I did get out to share my advice, which I very rarely do. And there was something about my demeanor that caused him to roll up his window and speed away fairly quickly. So he was not interested in my advice or my company.
Oh, okay. He didn't want to learn. Got it.
No, he didn't. Very close-minded is kind of what I chalked this guy up to being.
Of course. Yeah, that's a good one. Are you taking the Hummer EV through this?
Oh yeah. I'm it was very welcomed, and it was the you know what it is? The 4-wheel steering is what really, really helps you. You unlock those rear wheels and make it so they can turn a little more aggressively. And when the power goes to them when they're turned, like it just swings you out of stuff. So like it maneuvers through. I mean, 9,000 pounds gets you a pretty good bit of leeway as far as contacting the pavement goes anyway.
Yep.
But beyond the weight, the rear steering and the all-wheel drive and just the independent steering pods and stuff, that they all came together to make a pretty decent snow driving experience.
I want to say that sounds nearly as good as it gets.
I've yet to get it in a situation where it even acted like it wanted some help to get unstuck. It's very much been I got this, you're good kind of a feel as you're driving it.
So what are the state of schools? Have they been off all 3 days? Have they called the week? What's the deal there?
Yeah, still closed. No word yet on tomorrow.
Okay.
But yeah, it's been closed. it's yeah, it's a no for me, dog. Yeah. It's they are still out of school. Yeah.
Wow. Okay. And then real quick, just to bring perspective to this, because I was born in Michigan. I've only ever lived in Michigan. So this is all I know. This is what I'm through and through. Unfortunately, Nick has had the upbringing of many locations, and as this is not all he knows. If you would just, and this is a mass local as well. He's from your area. Now, if share some perspective on some of the other places you lived in that might bring a little bit of a different perspective than this storm.
Well, the first time I moved to Massachusetts, I moved here from Kauai. So I moved from a nice little island and in the middle of the warm water and, poor decision making skills and bad life choices. And here I am. And now, as if that wasn't enough, I came back, right? So I escaped. I escaped New England in a long time ago. And most recently moved back here from Florida. So the first time I moved here from Kauai. The second time, moved here from Tampa. So I'm very much not used to this weather. 100% transplant vibes coming from this guy.
And I knew it was Florida and Hawaii, and that's why I saw that question. I'm just dying because it's like if you came from like Michigan or Minnesota, you're like, it still sucks, and this storm's worse than anything I've been a part of. You came from Hawaii and Florida.
I came here from where people here go to vacation because it's so bad here.
But I will say, here is where you met Jill, though, right?
That's it.
Mysterious ways
indeed. And it's it's where my son Jack, he was born here, he's lived here his whole life, and so it's it's if two good things come out of New England and it's my wife and my son, I'm a happy guy. As far as I'm concerned, it's all worth it at that point. But it's right. Like, now that I have them, I think it's time to take them and bring them somewhere else. Yep.
And one aspect I just thought of too, because I have driven from Michigan to your guys' area. One of the main things, other than people kind of being aggressive and jerks and people having just this like almost like illness of being obsessed with Dunkin', like those stood out to me. The other thing that stood out to me is how small your roadways are, how narrow your streets are. And with plowing and with driving in snow conditions, especially if you're like us, you don't know where the lines are. We play guess the lane in Michigan and just guess which lane you're in and you hope it's the right one. And that has to add an even more element of challenge with such skinny little roads.
That absolutely. I mean, the horse trails are not, conducive to cars on a good day.
Right. And and this is interesting too. Leo says 9,000 pounds. He goes, in my area, there are residential streets with a 6,000 pound vehicle limit.
Oh yeah. There's lots of them where I am too, Leo. I pass by 2-ton limit signs all the time. I what's that?
Oh, okay. Wow. That's not big.
Yeah. I mean, there's not. Like, there's lots of roads around here that actually say like 2-ton limit, no trucks.
Wow.
And what they're trying to avoid there, it's not that the road can't hold 9,000 pounds or the bridge can't support 9,000 pounds. They don't want, big trucks, delivery trucks eating up the road, going back and forth across them all day long because they're not made to support that type of downward edge pressure.
Interesting. So do you adhere to those warnings the best of your ability? I didn't think so. It's not intended for you.
It's not. I'm not a commercial vehicle. Yeah. So, and if I'm going over, they usually have a bridge somewhere on those roads, right? It's usually one of the ones like the little small, like pass through bridges. And again, they don't want semis treating that like a throughway,
Interesting. Speaking of California, I was just out there a couple weeks ago in Anaheim, and I don't think I mentioned this on here. But the vehicle we parked at a parking lot, normal parking lot, paid for parking, truly like in the lines perfectly, and then
Uh-oh.
came back to a parking ticket. Did we talk about this?
No.
Okay. Do you have any guess in California? Again, paid the full amount. It was not about not paid parking. There was no, like, we were in a real designated spot, all that stuff. Any idea what the ticket would have been for? And it seems vastly unique to California. I didn't know this was a thing.
Were you oversized?
Nope.
Were you parked in an EV only parking spot?
Nope. They do have a lot of those.
I'm getting there. I can tell. I don't know. Nope. No guesses. Those are my two.
Yeah. Dan, you'll have to go back. We just went over that. And Big Red is right.
Not backing in?
No. We backed into a spot.
And you're not allowed to back in.
Got a ticket for backing in.
Yeah.
And the reasoning is because the exhaust was facing towards the water. We weren't on the water, but it was closer to the water than if you pulled in forward, because
come on,
like fumes, they don't go up and into the atmosphere and stuff like that. They just
I was going to say, you're not dropping mud out of your exhaust pipe. It doesn't land on the ground.
This was not on the beach. I did not see water a moment I was there. Literally, not once. It's not like we were just near the ocean or by the ocean.
So what water were they referring to?
The ocean at some miles away distance.
So basically what they're saying is you can't park anywhere in LA is with the rear of your vehicle facing west.
Yep. $50 ticket for backing in. And
so is that really why, though? I think it's for a different reason. I believe you get the ticket, but I can't believe it's because you were facing the water.
Yeah.
Is that what the ticket said?
Yeah, that's what it said.
Whoa.
Yep, for backing in, and then it had like a list of possible like reasons why for the backing in, and this one was for facing the water.
So there was a news segment that can't be the reason. I've seen backing into a space prohibited in the middle of the city. 9 miles from so I've seen that too. And Boston's actually trying to start. There's certain towns around Boston that are trying to start the tickets for backing into spots thing.
Yeah. And okay. Oh, yeah. But I don't get this either because people did bring that up. We were trying to figure out what the real reason was. And people are like, oh, for law enforcement or for LPR vehicles. But California has front and back license plates because people were like, they're going to make it too difficult to give you a ticket. But Cali has front and back license plates, right?
Yeah. I think they do. Do they?
And it was a rental car from there. And so it said it was because of the emissions facing water.
Wow. That is bizarre. Like,
very bizarre.
Because there's the thing in Boston where they're trying to enact that. There was a segment on the news where they interviewed people. They were going around interviewing people in parking lots, asking them why they were backing into spots. And if they were a backer-inner, they used the words backer-inner on the news. They're like, are you a backer-inner? Or or do you pull in like, no, here's what they said though. They're like, are you a backer-inner or do you pull into a spot like you're supposed to?
All right. So we had this full discussion on Beard Advice Live because people were like, nobody backs in as good as they pull out, blah, 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 and then or pull in and stuff. And I was like, Sam, talk to him there's cameras and stuff. I am a back end wizard to the point where I do it like super flat, like, and it's like super, it pisses Sam off because of how perfect it is. And people are like, it's so much more dangerous to back in. And no, absolutely not, especially in a big vehicle.
Yeah, I'm going to say that unless you have a vehicle that has front-facing cameras, I would argue that backing into a spot is actually safer because you can see the ground where you're going. And if you look at new cars, the dashboards are so high and the hoods, you can't see the end of your hood.
Yeah.
And so like,
especially on my truck. It's
huge. In the Hummer, I have to flip on the 360 view to be able to park that thing in tight spots. Sometimes if I'm pulling in straight, it's got a camera on the front and the back. You can see the front bumper, the rear bumper, and the sides. It gives you that top down view,
Yeah.
But
Craig, who is in law enforcement for a long time now, he said, old saying, cops and crooks back in, cops for easy exit and safety. Yeah, that checks out. Crooks because they think most cops are too lazy to walk behind the vehicle to see the plate. Interesting. And I did think about the plate for the ticket, but again, they had front and back.
Yeah, so do we.
So yeah, I don't know. It was very, very strange. But yeah, the people who say I truly believe people who say, like, why do you back in? Backing in's dumb. I think it's just insecurity because they don't like backing in and they have to like rationalize it. Because if I'm in a parking lot and it's crowded, pulling in straight in with my truck just because of the wheelbase, like the distance between the two wheels is so big. It's so hard to get that turn, but backing in, I could just do it easily and perfectly. And then you pull out and you're just good to go.
Yeah, and see, you know what's funny is that exact same reason is why in parking lots I'll unlock the rear tires a lot on the Hummer and make it so it turns, because that way it feels like you're backing in, pulling in straight because your back tires turn and they swing you out.
Yep, that makes sense.
But you got to make sure you straighten those rear wheels back out before you try to go straight in that spot, because otherwise you pull in diagonal and that's no bueno.
Oh, and they're like that. I've never had a vehicle like that. My brain can't think about it too much right now because I don't fully grasp it, and it sounds like just a crazy concept.
It is, like, especially the fact that you can't steer it separately. It does it for you. So it's like you have to know like where on your steering wheel engages what level of turn in the back.
No, stop.
Oh, it's bizarre.
That's too much mental food today.
It's so weird.
Interesting. Okay, so you got drive. So once you get out of your neighborhood and you came in today, how are your main roads? Are they snow covered? Is it ice? Are they decently clear? What are we looking at?
Yeah, like main roads, they salt the heck out of them, so they're black. You know, like you got black roads.
Interesting.
You can see asphalt everywhere you go. They're basically right now they're cleaning secondary roads. So like main roads are clear. They're hitting secondary roads, and apparently we're called tertiary roads where we are because that's not going to happen today. They said not even until Friday are they even going to attempt them.
Our entire neighborhood is a tertiary road. We get that all the time.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, you have main roads, side streets, and then I suck at saying the word tertiary.
Yeah, you say it kind of like a wise guy.
Yeah, you gotta be a little tertiary.
Yeah, you gotta twist your mustache when you say it like that. Yeah, tertiary roads.
Put them up, man. One of Shane Gillis's best jokes ever is when he talks about Jackie Robinson coming in and changing the way they announce. Oh man, that's brilliance right there.
Coming up to the plate, swinging there, and look at that.
It's gone. Okay.
Wow. All right.
So yeah, we're in that same boat. All right, now Dr. Nix. I think people probably get it by now, putting the pieces together. But what is the status and everybody understands and they're beyond patient, but what's the status of orders and what people can look forward to as far as like packages getting out?
If you have an order in the system that was in the system before like 11 o'clock this morning, it is most likely getting packed and it will get picked up tomorrow. So Jill's down there right now feverishly cranking through orders, packing stuff as quick as she can. She's getting everything staged up. We have a pickup scheduled. Our driveway is clear and the street is clear, so UPS can get in. So we're expecting a clean, on schedule pickup tomorrow from UPS. And Jill, she came in early this morning. She skipped the gym, came straight in here, and has been just working on it ever since.
I was just gonna say, so these are orders because you guys ship on Fridays. So these are orders from Saturday, Sunday, Monday, and Monday's when the storm hit. Literally no power Monday, no power Tuesday. So orders from Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday morning. And you guys got power Wednesday morning.
Yeah.
And you're telling me Jill is in Wednesday morning doing orders all day, and all of those are going to be ready to be out the door for pickup tomorrow morning.
Yes. If she makes them, I can't believe that she's going to make it through all of them. She says she's gonna. So, if you see your order marked as shipped anytime today or tomorrow morning, that's just because Jill's an absolute beast. She's a rock star.
Saying. You want to talk about the Dr. Nix difference. You want to talk about the benefit of small batch and just all around. That is unbelievable. Nobody in the world would have ever faulted Jill for being like, you know what? Friday's normal. Let's punt it and we'll do the pickup on Friday. And yeah, we'll be good to go. But she's like, no, and I know Jill gets like insatiable with this stuff. When it happens, she's like, I have a list of orders. They're not being filled. I must fill them. I'm skipping the gym. I won't eat lunch. I'm going to do. That's so cool. It's not healthy, but it's cool.
I mean, that's the way Jill is with everything that she's passionate about is, don't get in between Jill and something she wants done.
Yeah.
That's for sure.
That's the person you want on your team, but not as your enemy.
Oh, I just know for a fact that I always joke around. Like there is like, if I ever got like in a coma or something, people always talk about how like they're laying there and they're like just freaked out about how like nothing's going to get handled. And like, oh man, like I'm not there to do X, Y, and Z, blah, blah, blah. Or I wonder if they're doing everything they can to like get me out of this. You know what I mean? People talk about what they wonder. It's like, all I know is I'm going to be like sleeping peacefully and blissful knowing that Jill's the one out there. Cause I know that like, everyone is going to be very, very motivated to make happen whatever she's trying to make happen. That's for sure.
Yeah, I love that. And you're like, yep, whatever can happen will. So I'm good.
Exactly right.
So, wow. Absolutely insane. What a storm. Like, it's just, it still hasn't sank in. I was looking at pictures and everything. Like you just pull up this storm and you just see all of these pictures. You get the roads and like you see the little paths being carved out that are, and then Dan B had a good question. With all of this, one thing that a lot of people don't think about when we get high levels of snow, you have a dog that is not a high level. So what has it been like to have a French bulldog that has snow levels that are 2-3 times as tall as Sir?
Oh, that poor dude. So like, he's just the best freaking dog. So, I mean, like, he's very reasonable. You can talk to him. He understands what you're telling him. You know, like we even at one point went out because like the back slider was, above waist height to the slider. So there was no getting out of there. So we went to the garage and the back door for the garage opens in. So we're able to swing a door in and then cut our way out of the back door to get out of the house. So we had a little system where we'd put a jacket on him, go out into the garage, and then we basically cut a little path. But the problem he was having on Monday is his ears are so big that the wind was just blowing his ears around. Like they were just like blowing in his ears and blowing them back and flapping them. And I tried to put a little hood over him, but he's like, get that off my head. The wind's better. I'll take it.
Yeah.
And so we even told him at one point, we're like, listen, man, like if we go out in the garage and you don't want to go outside, like we'll go inside for a minute and you can hang out in the garage and, then come in when you're ready. And he's like, I don't do that. And so he's like, he was unwilling to take any substitute for outside. He basically just waited in between gusts. And then like once a gust came, he like ran out, peed real quick, and then ran back inside.
That's super smart.
Oh, well, he's an incredibly smart dog. So
is he really?
Oh yeah. I mean, he understands perfect English. I'm convinced. And so like, if he could form words, he would talk right back to us. I mean, the way he looks at you when you're telling him things, like you're like, all right, dude, here's what we're going to do. And you lay something out. He kind of like, he's watching you and he's like, he looks at what you point at and he looks back at you like, okay. So like, he gets it. And so what we ended up doing is once we were able to snow blow, I basically just cut a big loop from like our back door out through our patio, out around in the yard, and then back the other side of the patio. I just cut like a big path.
That's cool.
And right now it is like it's over waist deep. You can't see him when he's in the path. He just disappears off to the path. Then all of a sudden you see him running back around the corner back into the house.
Now, do you guys have any relief coming? Do you have any 50s or 60-degree days in the next forecast at all? Next 10 days?
Well, it's snowing right now.
Okay.
So that's promising. Okay. Yep. And thankfully, this one's what they call a clipper system. So it's going pretty quick. They're just like ones that kind of just pop by you real fast.
Yeah.
So by this weekend, we are supposed to have some 40s.
Ooh, okay. Won't do everything, but it's better than nothing.
Yeah, I'm hoping so, man. I really am. I'm hoping that some of it gets melted. Like, it's just, it's a lot.
All right, let's see this little cutie patootie here.
Oh, here he is. Yep,
That
there's
is
the path.
twice him. Twice him.
Easy.
That's a cool path. Oh, look at his little feet or his paws.
You see it goes all the way. Yeah,
wow. You are very kind to your dog.
Oh, yeah. Well, look at the tree.
Look at him. Look at him go. He said, I'm out. Enough of this, dude. What are we doing?
What are we doing? No, he's I mean, he's a member of the family and he needed to be able to get out to do his thing, man. It's like you do what you got to do for him.
No, more snow Tuesday. No, Big Red. We have a show on Tuesday. Not accepted, not allowed. I veto.
Please veto. Yeah,
Yep.
it's bad.
If there's ever been a time to call in your time and space abilities, this might be the time.
Oh, dude, this would be it. This is absolutely it. Look at this. I was gonna show you guys this. Look at the dumpster out back.
Oh my gosh. And you're right. That's not like it was a snowplow pushing right up to it. That's the level.
That's just the level. And you see the little ridge right there in front?
Yep.
That's looking out the window of our kitchen in the office.
Oh, wow.
So that's about level with the windowsill going straight out to a big dumpster.
You guys got smacked, like real deal smack. Now, you said you had to swing indoor. Tell me you had a door impression on the snow when you opened it.
Oh, no.
No? Oh, man.
No, we didn't.
Is it just a flat door?
No, it has sections in it, but it was such a drift. You know what happened? Oh, no, I know exactly what happened. All the snow ripped off the face of the snow with the door. Because when we opened the door and had it inside, the whole front of the door was just covered in snow.
That would have been cool if you would have been able to pull it and it's just like the door impression.
Yeah, I had to think for a minute. I was like, was it? I was like, no, it wasn't. Nope.
Interesting. All right. Well, now we're here. We're beyond it. That's crazy. So crazy. And yeah, we had no school Monday. A little bit better. And then last night, and of course, I was driving home from soccer Monday night when it's all coming. And then last night was fine all day until we were driving home. It was all coming down again. And so it was, it just keeps, this is the winter that just keeps going. Did you guys have the like glimmer of spring like a week and a half ago?
We did. And and it was like the snow was melting. It was coming off the roof finally. And I was like, oh man, this is good. And then this.
That was like the absolute worst tease ever. Like days where we were like, do we need a coat? Like actually like that. And I don't think people that don't live in cold areas don't understand the burden of doing anything in the real cold and real snow. Like in spring, if I want to go outside and go get the mail, I throw on my slippers or some sandals and I go get the mail. Like that's it. Now I literally have to have pants on. I have to have socks on. Terrible. I have to get actual boots. I got to put a coat on. And then depending gloves, hat, and like you can't just go do anything. You have to prep and plan. You got to have your back door all ready with a rug so you can put your wet shoes on. Then all the kids have their snow stuff and hooks and all this stuff. Like it's such a task, like everything.
You know, and it's such a task. And one of those tasks, I swear, I'm just never going to figure out because I'm a transplant here, is how the hell do you get from your back door to where your boots are supposed to go without getting the floor wet to the point where you're going to get your socks wet when you come back out to put on your boots?
You just have to be the last one. Oh, yeah, when you come back, that's a wrap. But for me, I let all the kids go in, and then they funnel farthest, right? We just have like a room, the laundry room.
Mud room.
So the mud room. So they funnel far. We go. They go over. I'm last in. So then I just bloop mine right there and then leave. And then they funnel behind me because wet socks, one of the worst feelings in existence in winter.
Oh, wet sock and wet sleeve. Like wet sleeve inside of nope.
You have to change.
It's like a go figure out a different outfit kind of situation.
Yeah. Yep. So, man. Well, hey, guys. We appreciate everybody so much. This was therapy session for us and was so needed, and hopefully gave you guys a glimpse behind the scenes of a small business, a husband and wife owned business, and the curveballs and the challenges that no one ever thinks about, that no one ever plans on when they're like, hey, I'm going to start a beard product company. I love all these. You see all the highlights. Well, there's some stuff that comes up that will put a little crinkle in your beard hair. And this was one of them. And I'm so glad that we got to have Nick on today and kind of learn through that experience. And I learned what a fuel oil
Oil
is.
truck.
Yeah, oil truck, home oil is. That's always a benefit. So, Nick, Jill, we appreciate you guys. The community is so understanding, and they love the efforts you put forward. So thank you, and thank you for being transparent and vulnerable and sharing everything today. And yeah, I'll give you the last words, Nick, and it will be same time, same place next week, guys.
Yep. Yeah,
same time as in Tuesdays. Back to same.
That's it. I was gonna say we're gonna be exactly 6 year, on the 6 day mark now this time. Because there we go. So yep, next week, regular time. Hopefully we don't get a giant snow next Tuesday. Hopefully next Tuesday's snow is just like another one of these like quick little systems and we'll be in here, but we shall see. So stay tuned. The saga continues. Winter 2026 in Massachusetts. Marshfield out.